Speak up or else I would skin you alive like the others. I warned the man sitting on the chair in front of me, tied up in chains, covered in his own blood from head to toe. He is one of the goons who were behind the attack which killed 78 innocent children. According to my sources, these people are planning a big terrorist attack and I am not going to let these bastards get done with it. You all will burn. He needs your blood and he will get it. He doesn't care who dies in the process, the man spoke bitterly. His words only infuriated me further, making me throw a strong punch on his face. I pick up a heated rod from the side and with force wrap his hand around it, burning his skin. Bastard's painful screams echo in the dungeon. Now, are you going to speak the fuck up or not? I grit through my teeth in frustration. His eyes are red and his face is fuming, but I know he won't be able to take this torture anymore and will speak up any moment now. He wanted to kill your niece, but unfortunately that little bitch was saved and those other 78 kids died. But he will come back again. This time he won't miss out. You know he needs you and he will go to any extent to have you alongside himself. As soon as he finished talking, I shoved that hot iron rod down his throat, killing him instantly. How the hell did he even think he could have killed my niece, my Ruo? I make my way out of the dungeon, fuming in anger, wanting to kill someone right now. Being in this dangerous position, I always have my life at threat, but that shit never scares me. But when it comes to any harm on my family, I am not able to think straight. I sit in my car and start it instantly, racing it through the streets of New York, crossing all the speed limits. It's not like I have to care about it anyways. I own this city and in the last 5 years, everyone knows. I turn my car harshly a little when I see someone pulling his car in front of me. Bastard has a death wish today. I take out my gun and shoot the tires of the car which pulled in front of mine. His car was in speed and thus immediately flipped around more than 5 times. I don't stop to get out and see what happened to the one inside the car. Soon, I stop my car in front of a very familiar warehouse and get out in a hurry. The guards look at me and allow me access without hesitation. I enter the warehouse and walk up the stairs to the room where I am sure to find the person I am looking for. As soon as I open the door of the room, his eyes find mine and I see a smirk curling up on his lips. Without any second thoughts, I make my way towards him and pull him up by his collars, forcing him towards the wall. Why the fuck would you do that? I ask. Don't blame me. I tried to call you very professionally but you always denied. You made sure to let me know that you are never returning, so I had no other choice left, he replies, not being affected by the fact that I can kill him right now. You tried to kill my niece just because I refused to join your mafia? What makes you think I will spare your life for this? I grit through my teeth. He chuckles and looks me in my eyes. I am certain that you cannot touch a hair on my head because you know if you do that, your entire family, the one you claim to hate, will burn and you will see it happening. I wrap my hand around his throat, choking the life out of him. Stay away from my family and my niece or it wouldn't take me much time to remove your entire existence from this globe, I warned him for the last time before leaving his throat. He inhales harshly and takes his inhaler to catch some breath. His eyes are watery by now and he stares at me with anger as I take a seat in front of him, on his chair. You will be back and I promise to make it happen. Without attending to him, I get up and start walking away but stops abruptly before pulling out my gun. I turn around and shoot him on his calf without any warning. He screams in pain and in no time, more than 10 of his men fill the room. They point their guns to my head but I stand there unaffected by any of it. Instead, I tilt my head and smirk at his painful condition. This was for even thinking about hurting my niece. I will take my leave now. And with that, I turn around and leave from there. None of the guys dare to even pull a trigger at me. They are the same guys I once used to work with 9 years ago. The man I just shot is the person who introduced me to the mafia world when I came to New York to study. My friends took me to show underground fighting and that day I learned about the underworld here. I started coming for those fights frequently before finally going for a fight myself. That day when I won against a guy, this man was impressed and asked me to meet him. Being influenced at the age when you are between your teenage years and youth is very common, and the same happened to me. I met him and he introduced me to his mafia and what they did and what money they made from it. I was very fascinated by all that and thus joined him immediately. After working with him for almost 5 years and being ruined completely, I realized that was not the life I wanted. The life my parents would be proud of. I tried to leave all of it but wasn't able to, and that's when I met Adrian and Gio. With the money and power Adrian possessed, he helped me get out of the shithole and I started a real estate company in New York. Now, when I have finally returned back to this city and have started my own underground organization which does not involve in useless killing of innocents for our own profit but instead, it prevents human trafficking, child rapes, women harassment and more. This man wants me back in his dirty organization. He wants me to lead his mafia and destroy lives to make hefty money. No way in hell am I going to do that, and I don't give two fucks about him. He will die a very painful death if he dares to hurt my family again. I walk away from the warehouse and get in my car before returning back to my penthouse. On my way, my phone chimes with a notification but I ignore it and keep driving. I stop the car when the signal turns red and stare in front of myself. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a woman wearing a pink bow in her hair passes in front of my car and my mind goes straight to a certain someone. Someone who has recently shifted in the penthouse in front of my own. Someone who makes amazing cookies, as much as I hate to admit. And someone who needs to stay the fuck away from me if she does not want any harm upon herself. Amelia Williams, my best friend's little sister, is the nuisance I don't want in my life. Those big green eyes, sharp yet soft facial features, long lashes, freckles under eyes and that fucking body, all of it seems unrecognizable now. The girl who I knew 5 years ago is now long gone. My mind wanders to the night 2 days back and my hold on the steering tightens. The way she batted those long lashes at me trying to prove that she is innocent for bringing cookies at midnight, the way she was just inches away from my face and licked her lips was affecting me. No, it's not. She is just a little nuisance, she can't affect me. I shake my head and start the car again when I see the lights turning green. I drive back to my penthouse without letting my thoughts roam around her. I am currently working on my next project with Zehro, my lab. Zehar is the name of the ginger cat Adya gave me 2 years ago. She said that if I have a pet at home, it will keep me busy and happy. What she did not realize was Zehar and I were the same souls in different bodies. Zah hates people just like me. She won't even let someone other than me, Ruh, Adya and Adrian touch her. My phone rings, grabbing my focus from my work. I close my laptop and pick up the phone to see a random number calling me at this time. I look at the time on the wall clock and it shows 12:01 a.m. Pinching the bridge of my nose, I pick up the call and put it to my ears as I take a glass of water and sip it. Hello? Who's there? I ask when I don't hear any sound from the other side. Is someone there? I ask again, getting no response in return. I am dismissing the call. I let the person know and am about to remove the phone from my ear when I hear the voice of someone from the other side, which makes my blood cold and brings back memories I have buried deep inside myself. Ekaksh, beta, apni maa se haath nahi krega. The woman who raised me all these years speaks from the other side. Ekaksh, my son, won't you talk to your mother? I fist my palms and cut the call without even listening to another word from her. My phone rings again but I dismiss the call. This continues for 5 minutes before I finally pick the call in frustration and put it to my ear but don't say a word. I am so sorry, beta. Please forgive me, she pleads, her voice breaking. As her son, I should feel bad for her and console her, but that's the catch, I am not her son. She lied to me all my life. Faked my entire existence. Created a brand new existence for me with the help of all the bloody months she and her husband possessed, that too without even officially adopting me. It's been 5 years since you have not spoken a word to us or even visited us. It hurts, beta. You snatched our privilege of being your parent from us. She sobs uncontrollably. And you had snatched my privilege of knowing the truth of my identity years ago. You trusted a stranger to tell these things to but couldn't trust the person you called your son. I want to speak a lot but chose not to. I hear her husband cooing at her from the background, trying to control her cries. My heart hurts a little and the little guy in me, who grew up calling her Ma, wants to reach out to her and hug her but the man in me stops him. I understand if you don't want to talk to us, Beta, she holds her sobs and continues, we just wanted to wish you a very happy birthday. We hope you stay happy wherever you are, be it with us or without. Before she could finish her sentence, I threw the phone at the wall in front of me. My blood rushes to my head, fuming the anger building inside me. I cannot explain what I wish to do right now but killing someone brutally is definitely on the list. I pick up the vase from the other side of myself and throw it on the ground with force. The realization that it is my goddamn birthday today spreads like a curse in my veins. The day when I was born, the day when my own mother left me with someone else because she did not want me, the day when I got a brand new fake identity and the day my entire existence became a lie, repeats itself every year, making me realize all these things over and over again. I throw all the things kept on the table beside me, including glass tumblers, shredding them to pieces. I pick up the chair from my side and throw it at the wall in front of myself, breaking it. Taking another glass tumbler, I throw it at the wall too. The little pieces of glass come back at me, piercing my hands, arms, and other uncovered parts of my body. I flinch a little when a small piece almost hits my eye and stumbles on the shredded pieces, hurting my feet in the process too. But the pain, blood, scratches feel nothing right now. It only increases the adrenaline and fumes my anger instead of reducing it. I turn around to pick something else when my eyes fall on Zahir, who is curled up in a corner of the couch, looking back at me with soft eyes. The only time her eyes soften is when she knows I am hurt. I pick her up carefully in my lap and put her in my room before locking it because if I let her out, I know she will get hurt too. I come back and kick the table in front of me. I make my way towards the bar cabinet and take out 4 bottles of whiskey. I start gulping down the ingredients as soon as I open the bottle. The alcohol lets me soothe my pain and numb it till I cannot feel it anymore. It helps me forget everything. It makes me feel good. It is what I need. I finish 1 bottle in no time and throw it at the wall before gulping down another. As soon as the alcohol starts affecting my system, the pain decreases. When I am halfway through the 3rd bottle, the doorbell rings. I open the door and one of my men is standing outside. I let him in before throwing a glance at the door in front of myself. I settle on the couch and he stands in front of me. What happened to him? Any updates? I ask. He is going to send 27 children to Hong Kong the day after tomorrow and traffic them as sex slaves. 19 girls and 8 boys, he replies and I nod. Prepare the men, we will kill his entire gang tomorrow, I instruct him and he nods. You can leave now. He nods again and turns around to leave but looks at me one last time and says, Boss, I know it's not my place to say but, don't hurt yourself till the point where you can't be fixed. In the last 5 years you have already suffered. Leave. If it's not your place to speak, do not fucking speak, I order and get up from my seat. Without another word and a simple nod, he makes his way out. I gulp down the content from the 3rd bottle completely and settle down on my couch. My mind starts numbing down and I finally stop feeling anything. My muscles relax and the anger starts fading away slowly. I close my eyes and the moments spent with my so-called family starts recollecting in my memories. The betrayal from the girl I once thought I was in love with and the heartbreak given by the people I call family is still fresh. I open my eyes instantly and try to forget about it all when my doorbell rings again. Frustratedly, I get up and am about to open the door when the impatient person rings it again. I open the door only to find the trouble of my life in front of me. Her smiling face immediately becomes scared as I see her eyes widening and features changing. She almost stumbles upon herself but holds her together immediately. She is very composed and collected all the time. Not like I noticed or something, but it is a very obvious thing. Her voice is something which cannot go unnoticed by anyone. Not like I noticed or something, but it is a very obvious thing. Her voice is something which cannot go unnoticed by anyone. I look her dead in the eyes as if she is a prey and I just want to haunt her and hurt her. What the hell do you think you are doing here? I ask her angrily, taking a step closer to her. She steps back and flutters her eyelashes nervously before finally stuttering out an answer. I came to wish you and give you brownies when I found out it's your birthday today. Birthday. Motherfucking birthday. I tilt my head and ask her about the brownies before taking them from her and throwing them away. She needs to fucking understand that I am nothing but trouble for her. The only thing I can bring in her life would be problems she wouldn't want to deal with. Her eyes stare up at my action and for a second something in my heart flips before I compose myself again. I threaten her to stay away, but she puts up a fight and tells me she wants to treat me. Even after telling her off, she does not listen and enters the penthouse. The audacity she has. Someday she is going to land herself in big trouble. I walk towards her and stand inches behind her. Her sweet smell intoxicates my senses. She turns towards me and I cannot help but notice her beautiful features. I don't know if it's the alcohol or what, but I have never seen a woman so beautiful and serene in my life. She looks so scared, as if I am going to eat her any moment, and that bloody shit provides an unknown satisfaction to my soul. Let me just treat your wounds and I will leave, she says, trying to change the topic. I move closer to her and whisper in her ears, do it. You won't stop anyway, even if I force you. So, go ahead. Treat me. She turns her face away from me at the proximity, but I bring it back in front of my face with my 2 fingers. Her skin feels like cotton beneath my rough fingers. I move my face closer to hers, touching the side of her chin with my nose, purposefully teasing her and inhaling her sweet scent at the same time. The things she lets me do to her are insane, but I am loving it. I ask her to treat me and she does. The way she gently cleans my cuts and wounds and does the first aid makes me think if someone like her can actually exist, or is it just a delusion. Her soft touch feels as if she is made of cotton. The way she talks sweetly and sometimes loses the count of what she is saying makes me want to do things I don't wish to do anymore. It makes me want to destroy her. There is no bandage. I needed to wrap around your ring finger because there is a cut on it, she says, trying very hard to maintain eye contact with me. Leave it. I will be fine with the cut being left untreated. You can go now if that's all. I reply to her coldly. She needs to leave before my dark senses take control over me. The 3 bottles of whiskey are not helping at all. She tells me that she has bandages and runs to bring them, banging her leg on the table in the process. Careful when you walk, I slowly speak, hardly enough for her to even listen. She comes back almost immediately and bandages my finger. I look at the bandage and my eyes widen in surprise. She fucking bandaged a Hello Kitty bandage on my finger. Who the hell even keeps stuff like this? In answer, she flutters her long lashes at me, making me lose control over and over again. I pull her closer to myself when she cleans the wound on my face. Wrapping my arm around her wrist, I bring her closer to myself. Her eyes widen and she stops her lips from moving due to the proximity. I move my face further towards her and touch our cheeks together as I move my lips closer to her ears. She tries to speak but ends up stuttering. I tease her purposefully and inhale in her hair. What happened now? You were speaking so much and now you cannot seem to form a proper sentence. Huh? I move my index finger from her chin to her throat, down to her collarbone and touch her breast subconsciously before I cup her neck and pull my face back. My senses return back the moment my hand touches her fucking breasts. The urge to tear that fucking red dress away and have a taste of those somehow makes an appearance in my thoughts. I fight it and warn her again. I am not safe for you. You need to maintain distance from me. And I am not asking you. I instruct her strictly and let go of her. Please stay safe and don't hurt yourself. Please, Ekaksh. My name from her mouth sounds like a fucking addiction. Something I do not wish to have in my life because I don't want my life to be wrecked. My jaw tightens and I hold her chin between my fingers and warn her, "Stay away from me, Leah." With that, I hold her arm and show her out of my penthouse. Her eyes tear up at my behavior, but I can't care less. She has to stop being stubborn as it is not going to take her anywhere. "Go back to your penthouse," I say, and with those teary eyes, she obliges. The moment the door of her penthouse closes, I turn around to go back inside, but my eyes fall on those brownies she brought with herself. I walk towards the box and see that only a few brownies are destroyed. I pick up the box with the good ones and go back inside. I take a bite of the brownie and fuck, they are so good. She loves baking, I guess. I murmur slowly. The incident from last night is still fresh in my head right now, and I am not going to lie, but his indifference did hurt me. I mean, it's not like I am asking anything from him or hurting him in any way. If anything, I just want him to smile a little and help him in need. In return, all he could have done was be a little sweet towards me, but he chose to scare me away. It's not like I care about it. I am not stepping back until I make my way to his heart, because this is what I have wanted ever since I laid my eyes on him. I still remember when I first saw him with Adrian 8 years ago, when I was just a little teenage girl who was just developing hormones. I found him extremely gorgeous at that time. I used to be all shy around him, even at the little encounters we hardly had. But it was just a little infatuation. He never paid any heed to me. For him, I probably was just his best friend's little sister who acted crazy and had some mental issues for reacting that way. Beside all that, he was in love with someone who was definitely not me. At first, that didn't affect me at all. I was fine with it. But as I grew older, I started being jealous when I used to see that bitch with him. When she used to go all touchy with him, not caring who was around. Not going to lie, but sometimes even his face showed the disagreement with her actions, but he did not say anything. And then one day, they got married. I was jealous and somewhere hurt too, but I made peace that okay, this was just a crush and he had a life too. A life without me. Everything was going good when suddenly, after hardly a year of their marriage, I got to know they divorced, and the worst part was the fact that the bitch cheated. Like, how the hell did she get the audacity, and what was she thinking exactly when she did that? No, like seriously, how can you cheat on a man like him? The man who is the definition of perfection. How big of a fool do you have to be to do that? I kinda felt a little hurt for him, but I was happy too that they finally separated, and now, after all these years, he is finally here. Alone. Living right across the hall, looking way more tempting than before. Maybe it's the post-breakup glow-up. Anyways, right now I am not planning to spend my time thinking about that bitch because she is irrelevant in his and mine life now. The only person who is going to end up with him is going to be me. And I have to make it possible. Call me delusional, but I believe even God wanted us to end up together, or else why would the divorce ever happen? It's a sign. I am telling you all. Even if it's not, who really cares? I am going to make him mine anyways. I sit in front of my mirror and look at myself. I have just taken a shower. That's why my hair is damp right now. My skin looks so raw and fresh, and I must thank my skincare routine for this because voila. I love my skin. The small freckles on my nose and under my eyes look beautiful. It's not a lot, but just the perfect amount to make me look pretty. My pink full lips and long lashes are another features I am proud of and don't want to lose. With a smile, I pick up my phone and click a mirror selfie of myself in the black bralette I am wearing right now, my cleavage peeking out a little. My damp hair coming on my face a little makes me look perfect. Once I am satisfied with a perfect picture, I post it on my Instagram with the caption, "Wet hair calls for a wet night." Funny how I don't have anyone to wet me, but I'm planning on a wet night. Only if he was interested in me, I would be getting wet, and if you see I mean you know what I mean, right? After all, we all are sluts mentally. In no time my comments section is filled with numerous comments. Some from my friends while others from some random horny teenagers. Since I am free right now, I decided to check the comments and reply to a few of them. As expected, Rak has almost filled the comments section, hyping me up like she always does. At Notra Chelgreen, that's my bitch wall, back off. At Notra Chelgreen, I claim her. At Notra Chelgreen, hot hot hot. At Notra Chelgreen, Theo James would beg on his knees for you. At Notra Chelgreen, Theo James would beg on his knees for you, girl. Delulu is the Solulu. At Notra Chelgreen, no mother has ever mothered the way Amelia Williams mothers. At Joshishome, excuse me, miss? Wet night with who? At Notra Chelgreen, I smell gossip. At Notra Chelgreen replied to you, OMG Amy, spill the tea. At Adya Williams asterisk fanning my face asterisk. At Adya Williams Roo says HIII bua. At Rylercus 17 wet night, huh? Do you have a spot left for me to join? At Hunter 86 fuck baby girl. So hot. At Sashantone underscore, so pretty. So hot. At Ayatrathore mother mothered hard. At Some Singh, please post something with your sis-in-law too. PS, love your bond. At Jacobso Kolov, if I come in my pants anytime now, you will be responsible for it. At Usual 2 III Rich Snobby Brat. At Usual 98 Fatherless Behavior. I close the app immediately when I see the horny and hateful side of the comment section. It's a normal thing when you are famous. People will look down upon you out of jealousy, even though you have done nothing to them or anybody per se. I get up from my seat and walk out of my room to the kitchen to get a bottle of chilled water from the refrigerator. I take out one of the glass bottles and start walking towards my room again when I hear a flicker from somewhere and reflexively turn to look at the source of the sound. My eyes fall on the main power board of the penthouse. With a frown on my face, I stare at it because the flickering is unusual. Suddenly, one of the lights of the living room goes off and the flickering also stops. Oh! So, maybe one of the wires was damaged. All of a sudden, something hits me and a big grin forms on my face. Now this is going to be fun. I keep the bottle on the dining table and take a pair of scissors. Adjusting the chair below the power board, I climb on it and open the board. All the perfectly tangled wires come in display as soon as the cover is removed. With a big smile on my face, I cut some of the wires and the electricity goes off immediately. I turn the flashlight of my phone on and get off the chair. I run to my room and take out a simple white tank top and black shorts and get dressed. I walk back to the living room and pick up the bottle of water before taking some sips from it to calm myself down. Once I am all set to go, I take a deep breath in and leave the penthouse. I close the door and lock it properly before walking towards his door. I press the doorbell and wait for a minute, but as usual no reply comes, so I press the doorbell again, and this time, within seconds Akaksh opens the door. He looks at me with frustration before scanning me from head to toe, raising an eyebrow at me. Why am I not surprised? He mutters and rolls his eyes. Maybe because now you are habitual of me. I grin immediately and answer. His expression hardens immediately and my grin fades away. Oh God. Not again. Can this man act normal just for a minute? Where is the old Akaksh I used to know 5 years ago? Arg. Now, I will have to handle his rudeness again. At this point you have no self-respect left. Who cares about self-respect when the Greek god himself is standing in front of you? My subconscious mocks me and I shush her immediately. I look at him, softening my eyes purposefully so that he won't go unnecessarily rude on me. What do you want today? He asks, folding his arms and leaning against the door. Why is it getting hot in here? I mentally fan my face before composing myself to reply to him. Actually, there is something wrong with the electricity board of my penthouse. There was some flickering and then suddenly the electricity went off. I don't know how it happened, but I am very scared to stay alone, that too in the dark. I flutter my eyelashes and bite my lips slowly, trying to act innocent. How the fuck did the electricity went off? He asks. Didn't you hear when I said something flickered? I retort back at him. He eyes me and asks, and what am I supposed to do about the situation? With a small smile I reply to him almost immediately, "Let me stay at your penthouse for the night." His eyes darken a little at the suggestion and I realize my words immediately. I mean, when I was shifting here, Adya asked me to take your help if I needed anything or if I had any inconveniences. That's why I came here. I try to change my words a little. You know when someone tells you that, you don't actually go to the said person's place almost every day and ask for his help or invade his privacy, he retorts and I frown at his words. What the hell do you mean by invading your privacy, huh? What do you do here, that you get disturbed by my presence? I ask him, putting both my hands on my waist and staring at him. He tilts his head and raises his brow at my reply before taking a step further. He holds my wrist and pulls me inside the penthouse before closing the door behind us and pinning me to it, with my hand behind my back and his holding it in place. What do you want to hear, Leah? He whispers slowly, his face inches away from my own. Huh? Do you want me to tell you that I bring girls home to fuck them and you ring the bell and disturb me, or do you want me to tell you that I murder people alive brutally and don't want you to see that? Tell me. He husks out in my ear. I bite my lips nervously because of this proximity. I don't know what the fuck is he trying to do cause he isn't even drunk right now. Tell me, Leah. What do you want to hear? I know I don't, speak up. The second one. I answer, biting my lips. Why? What's wrong with the first one? I don't like the sound of it. As soon as I say it, a chuckle leaves his mouth and he puts distance between us and leaves my hand. I hold my wrist with my other hand and rub it a little. I stare back at his face only to find him already walking further inside the penthouse. I immediately catch up with him and walk to the living room. He stops and turns back to look at me. The guest bedroom is that one. He points towards one of the bedrooms and I nod in response. You can sleep there for tonight before we get your electricity situation fixed tomorrow. Saying that, he picks up a bottle of water and enters his room, locking the door behind himself. As soon as his figure disappears, I giggle and do a little victory dance. You made it to his home, girl. Now his heart ain't unachievable. I am enjoying my victory when suddenly I hear a sound of a cat from somewhere. I turn around and see a ginger cat coming towards me. Her eyes are boring holes in me, but I guess that's because she isn't familiar with me. With a sweet smile, I get on my knees and move my hand towards her gently, but instead of coming in my arms, the little monster scratches me. Hey. I scream when she scratches me and lunges forward too. Pounds on me. Help. I scream more and get on the couch. She jumps on the couch too and comes towards me. I get down and start running and screaming around the house while she runs behind me. Not more than 2 minutes pass when the door of his bedroom opens and he comes out wearing only black shorts. My legs stop in the path as my eyes start roaming over his well-built chest. The taut muscles and scratches on that fucking body looks like a sight straight out of a dark romance book. He has got 8 back abs if I am not wrong, and the urge to feel them is building up inside me. I notice a droplet of sweat dripping from his chest, down to his abs before finally disappearing along with his V-line. I gulp down nervously when I hear him clear his throat. I immediately look up at him and as our eyes meet, I break eye contact and start looking around. The cat again comes into view and I freak out again, running towards him and hiding behind him, using him like my wall. He turns his head towards me and looks at me as if I am some alien. What the hell do you think you are doing? He questions harshly. The sea cat. She will eat me alive, yeah, right. I can sense the sarcasm in his words and with a frown on my lips, I dug my nails in his broad shoulders. Are you so desperate to use your nails on me? He speaks casually. I don't understand what he means, so I ignore it. Please save me from the little monster, I almost beg him when I see the cat coming towards me. She won't eat you, but the way you are reacting, she will definitely scratch, he says and moves forward to pick up the cat. I will put her in her basket and you can go to the guest room and sleep. With that, he goes somewhere to put the cat. I walk towards the guest room and throw myself on the bed. The room is plain but aesthetic, just like the entire penthouse. The grey and black walls, black sheets, grey curtains are just giving off dark vibes which I am not a big fan of. I try to ignore it and focus on what happened outside right now. I never took him to be a cat dad, but that was hot. His entire existence is hot at this point, and fuck that godly body. I mean, I can be a housewife for him if he wants. In return, all I ask is that body and some love. Please respect yourself, respect a little. I don't have any when it comes to him. Get a life, bitch. He doesn't even care about you. Oh please. He indirectly flirted with me twice today, whatever lets you sleep at night. At this point I am convinced that my subconscious hates me to the core. Like, how can someone be so negative? It's only her. Ignoring my stupid brain, I lay down on the bed and try to get some sleep, but am not able to catch any. I twist and turn in the bed, but the darkness of the room keeps scaring my soul. I am not used to sleeping in a setting like this. I guess shutting my power supply off wasn't really a great idea, now was it? It's not like I am getting to sleep with him. Wait. Oh my god. Why did I not think of this before? With a grin on my face, I immediately jump out of my bed and make my way out of the room. I knock on the door of his bedroom door and wait outside, holding my hands behind my back and swaying one of my legs. He opens the door after a minute and glares at me as if he is going to just bury me anytime now. I don't do anything but just stare at him innocently. For heaven's sake, can I have one fucking minute of peace in my own goddamn house, or are you planning to disturb me forever? He is about to almost yell but controls his anger. I simply flutter my eyelashes and reply, I wasn't able to sleep in the room. It was very dark. His expression changes and he looks at me as if he can't believe I am real or not. It's like he has seen a ghost or something. Just turn on the goddamn lights then, but it's still scary. I am not used to sleeping in that setting. Are you for real? I am. You can touch me and feel me too, I reply to him innocently as I flutter my lashes. It's kinda fun getting on his nerves. I wet my lips slowly with my tongue reflexively but realize it when I see his eyes dropping to my lips. There is a little change in his features. I notice them harden as he closes his eyes and pinches the bridge of his nose. Get in. Let's just get done with the night. He moves a little aside and lets me into his room. I enter inside and move my eyes around, noticing it. His room is just like him, plain and void of any expressions. There is a weird feeling of detachment I get from this room, but at the same time with him inside, there is peace. It is not scary. I move towards the bed and sit on it before pouring myself a glass of water from the glass jug kept on the side stand. As I drink the water from it, I notice him picking up a pillow and a comforter from the bed. Where are you going? I ask in confusion. I will take the couch. You can sleep on the bed, he replies and starts moving towards the white couch kept near the wall. No, please. Sleep with me, I immediately speak and get up from the bed. He turns towards me and raises his eyebrow at me. I mean, the bed is king-sized. You can sleep on the bed itself, I quickly correct my sentence after realizing. He puts the comforter and pillow back on the bed and starts walking towards me slowly. I gulp in nervously as he stands in front of me and slowly starts leaning down. I bite my lips impulsively and his eyes move between my lips and eyes. Are you so desperate to sleep with me, Leah? He whispers in my ears as he trails a finger on my arm and positions his knee just beside me, reducing the distance between us. Are you so desperate to sleep with me, Leah? He whispers in my ears as he trails a finger on my arm and positions his knee just beside me, reducing the distance between us. My breath hitches in my throat and my eyes widen in surprise. His words are making me feel things I only read in books but never felt. His husky voice, teasing attitude, our close proximity, everything about this situation is telling me that anything can happen tonight. I won't lie if I say I am kinda looking forward to what can happen, but at the same time I am a little scared of those possibilities too. Speak up, Leah. Are you so desperate? He husks out again, making me close my eyes. AK Kaksh, please. My voice comes out more like a plea and I can feel his features harden immediately. Please what? He rubs his nose against my cheek, near my ear, making me sensual. I didn't mean that. Then what did you mean, He started moving his nose from my cheeks to my jaws, accidentally touching it with his lips. Don't stop. Explain what you meant, he orders in a slow whisper, moving his face further below to my neck. Fuck my life. I meant you can sleep on the bed too. It's big enough to accommodate us both. I somehow speak, trying to frame the words properly. So, you want me to sleep with you? Yes. I mean no. Like not like that, but like sleep with me, like sleep on the bed beside me, not like you know. I ranted in a hurry without realizing what the fuck I was uttering. I hear a little chuckle escape his lips and he withdraws his face from my neck. I finally take a much-needed breath of air in, or else I will die instantly. I stare at him with wide eyes while he simply examines me amusingly. How do you manage to keep talking all day but can't frame a sentence when I ask you to talk? He asks, folding his hands over his chest as he stands in front of me. You make me nervous, I reply, not looking at him but anywhere around myself. Do I? Yes. He tilts his head a little and starts scanning me from head to toe before his eyes finally stop at my wrist. He raises his brow and the glint from his eyes disappears. What happened to your wrist? The question leaves me in confusion until I bring my hand forward and see scratches on it. How did the cat? The realization of the encounter hits me and my eyes widen immediately. This can cause infection if I leave it open like this. I mean your cat. She scratched me when I tried to befriend her. I immediately tell him about the incident. Till now this scratch wasn't affecting me, but now that my focus is drawn to it, the pain has started to surface. It's the irritating pain where you want to scratch the wound more. It's the twinging ache. Are you mad? Who tries to befriend someone's pet in the absence of the person? He asks, coming forward and holding my hand in his. Why are you getting angry at me for this? I am in pain. Console me instead of scolding me. I almost whine like a child and he looks at me with the "you are impossible" look. He kneels down in front of me and opens the drawer beside himself and takes out a first aid kit. He washes the wound first by wetting some cotton in water and then starts applying the antiseptics. I hiss in pain and hold his shoulder with my other hand. It's not that painful. Stop overreacting, he says, and my nails dig deeper in his broad shoulders. As if you would know. Just treat the wound and keep quiet, I retort back, the words making their way by themselves in my mouth. Yeah, I would never know what a scratch from a little cat feels like. I can make out that there is a clear sarcasm hidden in those words, but I choose to ignore him. He gently treats the wound and covers it with a bandage, which to be honest is not necessary, but I don't want to go against him, so I keep quiet. Why do you love to hurt yourself, he asks, keeping the things aside and now having his full attention on me. I feel like shying away from him, but with a small smile I reply, you are the one to talk, Excuse me. You were completely covered in blood yesterday and you are preaching to me about getting hurt. You tell me, why do you love to hurt yourself, His features harden a little at the mention of yesterday and he does not say anything after that and rounds to the other side of the bed, lying down beside me. He does not look at me and turns to the other side before covering himself with the duvet. I shouldn't have brought it up. Sleep. Don't keep staring at me, he says, and with a heavy heart, I lie down and cover myself with the same comforter. I turn towards him and face his back as I close my eyes and try to sleep. After about some time, sleep finally takes over me and I fall into a deep slumber. Timi passes. My hands are wrapped around something hard and I can feel myself being pressed by it. There is a weight around my waist and the hard thing smells really good. Very manly. Very familiar. I nuzzle my nose into it and take in the fragrance as much as I can. The weight around my waist increases and I am pushed further into the hard thing. What is it? Suddenly, a realization is drawn upon me and my eyes open wide immediately. I can see nothing properly from this close, but I know I am pressed against his hard chest and his arms are wrapped around me. I don't move and even close my eyes so that he cannot find out that I have woken up. I know you are awake. He whispers in my hair. I bite my lips reflexively and don't utter a word. He pulls me closer to himself, accidentally rubbing our parts together. My eyes widen and suddenly my entire body is aware of the close proximity between us. His hand slowly trails down my back, stopping right above my ass. I tighten my hold around him and hold him closer to myself. I don't know how we ended up in this position, but now that we are, my entire body is covered in goosebumps. My adrenaline is racing at an intense speed and my core clenches at the closeness. His manly scent, husky voice and that fucking godly body is not helping at all. Why are you so nervous, Angel? He asks, now trailing his finger on my arm slowly, making me shudder. It feels like a volt of electricity just passed through my system. My voice has got stuck in my throat and I cannot think of anything to say to him. He slowly rubs his leg over mine, making me inhale a deep breath in. Ek aksh. I breathlessly speak when he nuzzles his face into my neck. Say it again, he husks in my neck. I don't understand what he means. My mind is right now corrupted by his actions and my body has already betrayed me in his arms. Say it again, Leah. Say my name again. He demands and licks my earlobes slowly. Aksh. My breath fastens this time. What the hell is happening? He doesn't say anything and keeps rubbing his face and nose along my neck to my ear and back to my neck. His hand moves from my arms to my neck, lowering down to my breasts as he touches them and moves further down to my belly. My tank top and shorts have both rolled up a little, exposing my body more than before. His hand stops on my naked belly as he rubs it a little and starts trailing his palm under my tank top. His leg is working its way on mine. All this is arousing me and my core is pleading for attention now. He is not touching me anywhere intimate, making sure to not give me the satisfaction I want. His hand has stopped just below my breasts while his face has now left my neck and is now right in front of my own. His eyes stare at me with emotions I cannot decipher while I am not able to keep an eye contact with him. I can smell your arousal, Leah. He whispers in my ear and I breathe heavily at his words. And what can you do about it? I reply to him with closed eyes. My senses are not working anymore. I need him now. I need him to do something to me. I need him to fulfill the plea of my dripping pussy. You want to know? He asks, now gently cupping my right breast. Ah. I let out a loud moan as he rubs himself on me. His hand does not move over my breast, but fuck, the feeling of them cupping over me is just too overwhelming right now. Tell me, Angel, do you want me to show you what I can do? He asks. Yes. I don't know from where is this boldness coming, but fuck, I am so grateful for it. Show me if you can do more than just talking. He flips us instantly, changing our position. He hovers over me and stares in my eyes. His hand is still on my breast, but now he slowly presses them. I close my eyes and a whimper leaves my lips before I can register. He moves his face closer to mine, just a little away. Our lips and noses are almost touching. If any of us moves, our lips might end up on each other. You don't know what you are asking for, Angel. He breathes out, but I cannot even register his words right now. My sole focus is on his hands, which are pressing against my breasts right now. I have never let a man touch me in those places, and for the first time experiencing someone's touch there, that too someone who I have been crushing hard on, feels so unreal. So fucking dirty and yet so amusing. I crave more. My body wants more. So, I move my hand over his and start moving it, rubbing it over my breasts to feel more sensation. Ah! Yes. I moan as the pleasure slowly starts building up inside. Me. Fuck it, he groans and our lips almost touch. I immediately open my eyes and they meet his dark onyx ones. Our lips. I immediately open my eyes and they meet his dark onyx ones. Our lips are almost touching and my breath has increased. My chest heaving up and down while his hand stops its action. He pulls himself away from me and gets off the bed. Sleep, Leah. With that, he picks up a pillow and leaves the room. I cannot believe what just happened. He left me craving for more when it was the first time I was ever experiencing something like this. I get up from my position and get off the bed too. I immediately compose myself and fix my clothes before making my way outside of the room too. Who the hell does he think he is? How can he do that to me? I walk towards the couch in the living room where he is laying down and picks up a glass of water from the coffee table before pouring it down on him. He gets up immediately and glares at me while cleaning himself and wiping his face. I glare back too. He just cannot do whatever he wishes, whenever he wishes. What the hell do you think you are doing? He yells at me and steps closer. First of all, stop yelling. Secondly, how the hell can you just leave me there like that and come out here? Huh? I shout back and step closer too. Trust me, had I stayed there a moment longer, you wouldn't have been able to walk for days. And more than that, you wouldn't want to be involved with someone like me. So, I warn you yet again, stay the fuck away from me. He warns with the glare still on me. You don't know what I would want and I would not. So, stop making decisions for me. And why are you so scared to let me in, huh? I am not that bad. I try to justify myself and reason with him. It's not you who is bad, it's me. Stay away from me, Leah. I am not a good man. He says in a non-negotiable tone. I fist my hands in anger because this is complete absurdity. How the hell can he tell me what to do and what not to do? Who the hell does he think he is? Who do you think you are to tell me what to do and what not to do, huh? I retort back in anger. I am no one for you and it will only be good for both of us if it stays this way only. You are just my best friend's little sister, a little spoiled daddy's princess who doesn't even know the cruelty of this world. It will be good for you only if you stay away from me, he utters with anger in his voice. Fine. I won't come near you now. Stay alone. I am just a little girl, right? Now you won't see this little girl disturbing you, I reply to him and rush back to his room, wiping my tears off before slamming the door harshly. I should have cared about my self-respect first. Men are never worth it. They will prove to you always how big of a fool you are for prioritizing them before you. For thinking that maybe you can help them by becoming a friend or a girlfriend. I put my face in the pillow and cry myself to sleep, thinking over and over about him and his harsh words. I pinch the bridge of my nose trying to get myself together. I cannot believe I lost control back in the bedroom. That girl is driving me insane at this point. And how the fuck did she end up in my arms and why the fucking fuck could I not control my actions? Everything is just messing with my head right now. This is not something that was supposed to have ever happened. I had to make sure she stayed away from me and not that I go around craving her. That heavenly smell radiating off her, her beautiful body in my arms, her perfect tits rubbing over my chest and then under my palm and that begging look in her eyes, all of this just makes me want to go back in there and fuck her until she loses all her senses. The way her tits fit perfectly in my palm as if they were made just for me and then when she held my palm and started rubbing it over them, fuck my life. I need her. No. I don't. I gulp down a glass of chilled water to calm my fucking senses down. At this moment I cannot let the last strand of control be lost from me. Suddenly, a chime echoes from beside me and I look around to find someone's phone on the couch. I pick it up and by the pink color of the phone to the pink cover, I know who this belongs to. I pick the phone up and see a notification from Instagram. There is no lock on her phone so I easily get access to her Instagram. I can see her notifications bombarding like anything, with people filling up her comment section and spamming likes on her post. I tap on the recent post which she posted a few hours ago. It's a picture of her in a black innerwear with some of her wet hair over her face. She looks like a sight out of some fucking heaven. Her angelic face looks so fresh, clearly indicating she just took a shower. I zoom in the picture and notice a mole just a little above her covered tits, looking so tempted that I want to go suck on it. At this point I have lost every amount of sanity I was left with. She has already pushed me to the edge and now this wasn't helping shit. My eyes fall on the caption and my brow raises in surprise. Wet hair calls for a wet night. Sometimes I seriously cannot believe this girl. She amuses me every second, every minute. I open the comments section and see Adya and some Rachel girls' comments on top. I scroll down further and my eyes harden at the bloody responses from some horny boys. I read each and every one of them before sending all the IDs to one of the hackers in my organization. I close the phone and throw it back on the couch as I walk back towards my room. Slowly, I open the door and my eyes fall on her. Her back faces me, so I move towards the other side to see her face. Her long hair is scattered all over her face, covering it from my view. I slowly push them behind her ears and look at her angelic face. Tear marks are clearly visible on her cheeks, indicating how much she has cried before sleeping. My heart pains a little when the realization that it was I who made her cry is drawn upon me. But it was needed. I had to make it clear that I am bad news for her. She has to stay away from me for her own good. There isn't much choice that I can give her. The fact that she has already started to affect me more than I ever thought she could is very concerning. If she does not stop now, I don't think I will ever be able to push her away in future. Pressing a small kiss on her cheek, I walk out of the room and lay down on the couch.